Feeling like a weenie, but now it's 5:30. It's time for a martini. Welcome to our show. Welcome to our Kiki, the 5:30 Quarantini. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the 5:30 Quarantini. I am Michael Hull.
And I'm Dylan Bustamante.
And we're so excited you're here. Welcome to Happy Hour. Happy Thursday. Happy
Thursday
Hour.
Indeed.
What a show. Dylan, I've been on YouTube all day stalking today's guests, and I've just had the best time.
On YouTube for my whole life listening to these guests.
Well, listen, I'm very excited. What a show we have today. I see a lot of people in the audience. Welcome. If you're here, feel free to jump into the comments, get involved, so we know you're here. Dylan, how you doing? How's your day? I see you're trying out a new room in the house.
Great. I see you're trying out a new room in the house as well.
Welcome to my bedroom. Welcome to my new industrial exposed lighting. You know, we've been doing this for 6 months. I figured it was time to make a little set.
I know. We keep changing where we're coming from, so why not?
Gotta keep it fresh. There's only so few things we can do to keep things fresh these days. So I'm just moving around my house and broadcasting from the different corners of my room.
Such as quarantine.
I see a lot of fun people in the chat. Hello, Karen. Welcome back. Hello, Robert. Hello, Marie. You guys, normally we would, well, actually, that's a lie. I was going to jump right into our first guest, but we do have an exciting announcement to make, which is welcome to September. For the month of September, we have picked a new organization to benefit. A lot of you guys know last month we were collecting tips to benefit Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. We're super excited to announce that between the 3 shows that air on this channel, we raised a little over $1,100 for BCEFA. And so thank you to everyone who donated. We love you guys, and we love BCFA, and so we were super excited about that. For the entire month of September, we will be asking you, if you're having fun hanging out with us, we are asking that you consider making a donation to Broadway for Biden. We are not accepting tips on their behalf this time around, so you can't Venmo us. We will not be able to accept your Venmo tips. However, if you are having fun and you would like to support a great cause, we think this is a pretty good one. It is. We've made a little tiny URL for you. It's tinyurl.com/bwaybiden. So feel free to click over and support. And with that said, Dylan, we just
Let's jump in. Let's just jump into today.
You guys, I've been obsessed with our first guest since we met way back in 2011. That's right. For all the Be More Chill fans, just know Dylan and I were obsessed with this person before you were.
Right.
But you're welcome here. Anyway. He toured the country in Spring Awakening before making his Broadway debut in the 2011 Godspell revival. Hold for visual aid. Here we are making our Broadway debuts together.
Oh my gosh,
in the
this
center
picture.
with Hunter, George, Nick Blameyer, and Tully Leon. Can you believe 2011? Anywho,
what a time to be alive.
He made his Broadway debut in the 2011 Godspell revival. Since then, he has lent his immense talent to a whole collection of innovative and exciting off-Broadway work, including Fucking Up Everything, Tick, Tick, Boom, Lightning Thief, The Percy Jackson Musical, Care House, and of course, Be More Chill, where his performance as Michael Mell was critically acclaimed and had everyone and their mother singing about Michael in the bathroom by himself. You guys already know this, but he, of course, went on to bring that performance to the Broadway production as well. Speaking of Be More Chill, he's a close collaborator of composer-lyricist Joe Iconis and has brought some truly stunning interpretations of much of Joe's work to anyone lucky enough to witness one of their shows at Feinstein's 54 Below or beyond. Last year, he traveled to Pasadena Playhouse to do some light gardening as Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors. Some light gardening. Speaking of light, he is a light of the world. You guys, please, let's meet our first guest. It's George Salazar.
And although I'll be out of sight, dear. No, I'll be right here forever, ever, ever, ever. And I am coming, or am I a man? Am I a man? If I'm a man, that makes me a puppet of a man. I'll suddenly Seymour is standing beside you. You don't need no makeup, don't have to pretend. Broadway, here I come. Broadway, here I come. Broadway, Broadway, here I come. Here I come. And the last thing I hear as the impact grows near, is it a scream or a cheer? Well, never mind, I'll never find out, 'cause Broadway, I am here.
George, hi.
You guys, that was the loveliest in memoriam segment I've ever seen.
Well, listen, you moved to LA and I haven't seen you in so long that it felt appropriate.
It's true. It's true.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh my gosh, we're so happy to have you. Thank you for joining us. Where are you coming to us from today?
I'm live from a very orange-skied West Hollywood, California. The fires in California have really transformed the sky and the air quality. So I'm inside with all the windows closed, and just happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah, well, I know it's very difficult out there right now. So hopefully this will be a little bit of levity in our days together.
Yeah.
While we get to catch up, we're so excited you're here. First of all, congratulations on Little Shop of Horrors.
Thanks.
Which was just incredible. I watched all of the stuff on TV and on YouTube. We don't support bootlegs, but YouTube is great. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was a dream. It was an absolute dream. Before we went live, Michael and Dylan were like, we're going to play like a video sequence. And then as soon as it's over, you'll be live. So don't pick your nose. And so I as the video started, I decided I was going to commit to pretending to pick my nose. And then the clip of MJ and I on James Corden started. And I was like, I can't do that.
Well, listen, you're very fancy now, but we're never too old to pick our noses.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Let's do it.
I'm sold. Done. We have a lot to catch up about how you've been in quarantine. I know you've done your own version of a show like this, which Dylan and I have tuned into many times. But before we get to that, just a general me to you touch in. How have you been? How is LA? How's quarantine been? I know it's a crazy time right now. How you doing?
I'm hanging in. In the first couple months, I was like a complete wreck. I was terrified for my parents who live in Orlando. I was terrified for the old people that live in the nursing home on my block. So I my pod and I really committed to staying at home and only leaving if it was absolutely necessary. So we got our groceries delivered and all that stuff. And in the last couple months or last couple weeks, I've been kind of reintroducing myself to the world and going on walks.
Yeah.
And trying to, because there's this very real thing, right? Is if we're locked up in home all the time, the second that things are back to normal,
right?
There's going to be a very real PTSD that people are going to be experiencing, and an agoraphobia and a massive, distrust of strangers. And I'm fortunate enough to be going back to work very soon. And so I also wanted to make sure that I was reintroducing myself to outdoors, so that I'm not just being thrown into, a room.
Yeah, It's
you know?
been wild. I mean, I'm here with my boyfriend, and we've been in the house. We were in the house for like the first 4 months. I was insane.
Yeah.
I was like, we're not leaving. If you go to the trash room, you have to quarantine all over again. Like, I was beside myself until, I was reading a lot about the fact that like you kind of have to kind of hold on to a little bit of normalcy. You have to get outside. You have to see the sun. You have to breathe the air. So that you don't end up shocking yourself back to life when this passes.
Yeah, mental health became a very important priority for me. And so, I feel like I was falling into this routine of like watching TV with my roommates until like 4 a.m, and then going to bed at 4:30 and waking up at 2 p.m. And then eating carbs all day and just sitting. And so like I have found a lot of freedom and joy in having a more of a routine where I'm working out more and like I'm watching what I'm eating, and all those things can affect our brains in such an interesting way, and we don't even realize it until we're like, I feel like I gained like 25 pounds in the first couple months of the quarantine, and none of my clothes were fitting me anymore, which didn't matter because I wasn't leaving the house, but I was like, okay, maybe there's something that I can be doing that will help me feel better. And it's worked. It's working.
Yeah.
That's
good.
awesome.
And you've been in California the whole time, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I do think towards the beginning, it was definitely, I know I went into it thinking this was going to be 2 weeks. And I was like, I'm going to order Domino's every night and never have to leave my house. And it's going to be great. And then you come around to the idea that like, oh, okay, I need to find a sense of honoring myself, even though I have no idea what world I'm living in right now.
Like what's sustainable?
Yeah.
Right? Because like Domino's every night of the week is just not, it's delicious. I love Domino's.
But it's just like maybe not something you should have every day.
We have to be able to we have to adapt, right?
Yeah.
And so and that can be really difficult. But we're all experiencing varying degrees of like misery through all of this, right? And so at least we have that,
right? And we can share that, and it's normal. But speaking of adjusting to quarantine life, adjusting to this new sense of normal for now, you started a whole show right from the comfort of your home. You want to tell us a little bit about Sundays on the Couch with George, how it came to be, what your experience was like doing that?
Yeah, initially I felt really terrible because, obviously Be More Chill has a massive following among young people. And I felt really bad that school was getting canceled and arts programs. I mean, kids weren't having access to the arts. And every time we turned our TVs on, it was just like, another thousand something people dead from COVID-19. And so my dear friend, Sam Pasternak, who is now a segment producer for Drew Barrymore's new talk show.
Never heard of her.
He and I chatted. She was in a movie called E.T.
Yes.
But then that was it. But then that was
it. She hasn't done anything since then, I don't think.
Nothing since.
I think she does commercials on her Instagram, but that's
that sounds about right. Yeah. But he and I talked, and I was just like, I kind of want to do something to both like offer a fun distraction to what is happening on the news, but also make a positive impact and help people at home feel like they're doing something to actively help other people. So similarly to you guys, we each week we had a different guest, and we had that guest choose an organization that they wanted to raise money for. And so we sold raffle tickets for $10. People donated. 10 winners were selected each week, and they got to attend a Zoom meet and greet with me and the guest. And we raised just about 10 grand
awesome.
Over the course of 9 weeks. But then, of course, when George Floyd was murdered, I was faced with the decision of like, do we keep doing this show that's like fun? And, we had silly segments like where we would do ASMR and we would sing like a duet, and it would be terribly delayed and awful. and I just felt like I couldn't in good faith like do that show anymore, because I didn't want to distract people, especially, you know, young white people. I didn't want to distract anyone from what was happening, and this massive, you know, shift. This like, we all felt the plates beneath our feet like really start to shift, and so we made the executive decision to kind of put a halt on the show, and instead use our efforts, you know, that effort that we would, you know, because you guys know it's every week, it's a lot of work, press releases, graphics, you know, building the show,
watching
all that
videos
stuff.
of you on YouTube and editing them all together for hours.
It's a lot of work, and so I was like, what if we took that all of that the hours of work that we spend working on this, and try to find ways to amplify voices and get the message out, right? And so that's kind of where we've been. You know, I mean, Sam is working on Drew's show now, but that's kind of where I'm existing these days, is kind of, you know, trying to do my part and trying to educate those around me, my family, my friends, myself. You know, and I think we were all really fortunate, very lucky to have that pause, to really take a step back and do some really hard thinking, and hold a mirror up to ourselves, and question our own habits, and you know, commit to making those changes.
Well, just, and as someone who, you know, as someone who's watched you for a very long time now, not that, you know, we're still young kids here, but as someone who's watched you for a while, I do want to give credit where credit's due, that I thank you for the amount of work that you've done, for the amount of your time that you've taken to speak up and to try to help the situation, and everything from, you know, knowing you here in New York to now watching you from afar, and watching Sundays on the Couch, and watching your appearance on Stars in the House earlier this week, and it's clear that it is a genuine want to help, and I really appreciate that, and I thank you for everything that you've been doing.
That's very sweet, thank you. But I think, like, if anyone, Be More Chill really changed my life, and it gave me a platform, and it gave me an opportunity to have a direct line of communication with this generation of young people who impress me on a daily basis, right? And so I think if anyone is fortunate enough to have something like that, I would like to think that they would be doing the exact same thing.
I would like to think so too.
I would like.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, it sounded like you were saying it at the same time, so I was just like, yes, absolutely.
No, we love that. We love that 1 second delay. It's really trippy.
Yeah, we love it.
It's a hoot.
It's so much better than being in person.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Speaking of Be More Chill, I want to take a step back and talk a little bit about your relationship with Joe Iconis, and you know, you have been with Be More Chill through three professional productions now, and
over the span of like 5 years, right?
Yeah,
like
but
5
like,
or 6 years.
you know, you'd never be able to tell because of all of the work I've had done.
He started when he was 7, but you work with Joe a lot. And speaking of, you know, all of these younger voices and younger people that maybe didn't know you as well before Be More Chill, you've worked with Joe a lot, and you've collaborated with him at some of the cabaret spaces here in New York City to kind of breathe your own life onto some of his work, and kind of work with him to develop interpretations on some of his incredible music. What has that been like? What is it like to be kind of almost like an arts ambassador for this incredibly talented man? And how did that come? And tell me more.
I mean, we quite literally right before this, we did like a Theater Works. They're a great organization. They bring theater to communities that don't have access to it. They bring theater to schools and introduce people to the art form. We actually had a conversation where we talked about these very things. You know, when I was in college, one of the like busy work assignments that they had us do was like they assigned musical theater performers that seemed kind of like performers that we as individuals could connect to. And I was assigned Cheetah Rivera. And in my research of the great Cheetah Rivera, She was in a movie called E.T. and then that was
got
it.
Yep, got it.
In my research of Cheetah, I learned about all of her collaborations with Candor and Ebb, right? And this like idea of an artistic repeat offender. And I remember being in college being like, man, that would be so dope. Like to just like have a relationship with a writer who understands you as an artist and you understand them as an artist. And then there's just kind of like, you know, this career is so full of uncertainty. You never know what's going to happen next. Oftentimes you don't know how you're going to pay your bills next month.
Yep.
And you know, when I moved to New York, I realized immediately that like, to be able to find that in New York would mean finding a home and finding like a safe space, an artistic home. And so I feel very fortunate and very lucky. And this is, you know, I had just said this and I almost started crying in the conversation with Joe, but you know, he changed my life and like continues to change my life. And it's not lost on me that the opportunity to work with someone so prolific and talented as Joe is not like a common thing, right? It's not something that every actor gets to do. And so every opportunity that I've had to work with him, I cherish every single one of those. And, you know, I often talk about how my approach to my art is to create for other people, because if I create for my own ego and my own ambition and my own blah, 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 my art is just one dimensional. But if I'm creating for other people, even if it's for people that I've never met before, the art is just inherently better. And I learned that from Joe. I learned that from watching Joe. Joe creates for others. When you attend the Iconocent Family cabaret shows, there's a real sense of community. Yeah, sure, on stage because it's a family, but also in the audience. Like they very much feel a part of the magic. And that I think speaks volumes to who he is as a person, because we all know that he's, you know, wildly talented, but he's a solid human being. And so, you know, it's one of those collaborations that make you better. As an artist and as a person.
That's
so I feel
awesome.
very fortunate to have that.
Well, we feel very fortunate that you have that relationship with him, because we have obviously all benefited from that as well. And speaking of
Michael, you took amazing pictures of our 2-player game concert.
Thank you. I did. And I will never forget getting to sit in that dressing room with the two of you for like 5 minutes and just watch you adjust each other's bow ties and straighten each other out. It was very, you two are the admiration is palpable.
I miss 54.
I do too. It was like grown-up summer camp. I miss it so much.
The 10th floor was basically grown-up summer camp.
It will be back. It will be back. Speaking of you and Joe Iconis, that brings us to today's game for you, Mr. Salazar. You famously performed, yes, buckle up. You famously performed the role of Michael Mell in Be More Chill at all 3 of the show's professional productions, Two River Theater Company, off-Broadway, and then on Broadway. We did a little deep digging today, including a lot of internet stalking and even calling your understudy to get the inside scoop, and we estimate that you performed 316 performances as Michael Mell, meaning that you sang Michael in the Bathroom on stage in a show 316 times. Now, the original recording comes in at 4 minutes and 58 seconds. The Broadway recording comes in at 5 minutes and 7 seconds. We took that into consideration, and when all the math was done, it looks like you sang Michael in the Bathroom live on stage for 26 hours, 56 minutes, and 52 seconds total.
And that does not even count singing it at
rehearsals.
54 or rehearsals or anything else.
So, guys, you know what? It feels like it.
Yeah, I bet. It's funny because originally when you said you would come on the show, my original plan was like, let's not talk at all about Michael in the Bathroom. He's playing it everywhere. Let's just like ignore it. And then we ended up making this game. So here's what we want to know. You were in the bathroom for 26 hours, 56 minutes, and 52 seconds by yourself. And we just want to know, were you paying attention? So today's game of the day is all about bathrooms. Today's game of the day is all about bathrooms. It is bathroom trivia. We have, I believe, 5 questions for you. And Dylan wrote these, so as always, I will be on your team, and so will be everybody in the comments. So you guys, they're about 14 or 15 seconds behind us. If you get stumped, you can either Who Wants to Be a Millionaire it out, or just look really pensive for a while and keep one eye on the comments. We're going to get through this together. This is bathroom trivia. Dylan, take it away.
Yes. Okay, so bathroom trivia. Let's start with question number 1, shall we? The average person uses the toilet 2,500 times per year. So over the course of an average lifetime, how much time do people spend on the toilet? That is going to be A, 5 years, B, 3 years, C, 12 years, or D, 2 years.
Can I ask for clarity again on how long they spend a year?
It's you go to the bathroom 2,500 times per year.
Okay,
so
and
7
so then
times per day.
Are we allowed to use calculators?
No, because it doesn't give you that answer. It's how much time do people spend on the toilet?
okay, so
it's
there's
500.
There's 525,600 minutes in a year.
How do you
Yes.
measure pooping?
Honestly, once again, I'll say it again. Thank you, Jonathan Larson. What are the options? Sorry.
A, 5 years, B, 3 years, C, 12 years, and D, 2 years.
I see some votes for 5.
5, bro.
I see a lot of votes for
years.
5. I see some people questioning why we're making them do math.
That's the only one with math.
Our other guests are coming in through my earpiece to let us know that they also measure their life in poops. Unrelated, but helpful.
Oh
I don't
man,
know.
this is tough.
I started with the
I'm
hardest
gonna say,
And I should mention, George, if you get the answer right, you will hear Alex Newell riffing. And if you get it wrong, you will hear something else.
I hope to God it's Alex riffing. I'm gonna say, I want to say 12 because this feels like one of those multiple choice questions where. Wait, you didn't let me finish. That wasn't my answer.
Okay, well, then you got a freebie.
I want to say 12, but I don't think that I that's a lot. And then you also just played that, so I know that that's actually in fact not the correct answer. So I'm going to say 5 years.
No.
The answer is 3 years. That would be B. You spend 3 years of your life on a toilet.
Well, unless you have IBS, in which case it could be 5 years. Wow,
All right.
3 years on a toilet. That's insane.
That's a lot
Isn't
of
that
time.
wild?
I'm going to
All
have to come up with a toilet hobby. Shouldn't I learn to do something if I'm going to spend 3 years in there?
Well,
Oh my God. You're
That brings
absolutely
me-
Or
right.
journal? That's 3 years of
You
time
can't
that I could
journal.
be using. Okay, anyway.
That brings me to the question number 2. Folks do everything from talk and text to online shop on the toilet. It's now more popular than reading in the bathroom. What % of people use their mobile phones on the toilet? Is it A, 65%, B, 45%, C, 75%, or D, 90%?
First off, it's gross to do that because obviously, it's gross. Like when Michael was talking about journaling, I was like, maybe just do voice memos, just keep a.
But still,
Keep a
that's
recorder in
what you're
there?
doing on the phone. You would be, or you guess.
Well,
you'd
no,
have
keep
recorder.
a poop recorder that is specific to the
Specifically,
poop.
yeah.
That's in a Ziploc bag. I'm gonna say
There's a lot-
shockingly 70%.
The options were 65, 45, 75, or 90, but I think
75.
You were correct. 75% of people use their phone on the toilet.
All right, well
It's
done.
so gross, you guys.
Yeah.
It's pretty disgusting. Although now that we're in COVID time, I feel like I really understand cross contamination and touch contamination, and it is really
It's
effing
really
disgusting.
gross.
That's a silver lining.
I see
Yes.
a lot of people. Congratulations to everybody that got it right in the comments, and Robbie Roselle who loves us. And
Hi, Robbie.
Well, way to go, guys. All right, moving right along. If you're tuning in, this is Bathroom Trivia. George is not
With
by
Michael
himself.
in the bathroom. all by himself.
Here we go. Take it away, Dylan.
Okay, question number 3. How many bathrooms are there in Buckingham Palace? Is it A, 78, B, 116, C, 38, or D, 105?
I'm going to say 116. That's a big building.
Do you have
It's
a second
not.
answer?
What would the one that's under that? What was it?
We have A, 78, B was wrong, C, 38, or D, 105.
I'm going to say 105.
Turns out maybe people in Buckingham Palace don't poop as often as the rest of us.
The answer is 78A.
It's still a lot of bathrooms.
It's still a lot of bathrooms.
There is one bathroom for every 10 rooms in the Buckingham Palace.
That sounds, first of all, insane. So that means that there's 750 rooms.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wild.
And then very disturbing that there would only be one for every 10. Is that what it was?
Yeah, one for every like 10 rooms. Isn't that crazy?
Like I
Yeah,
live in a
that's insane.
one-bedroom apartment with one bathroom,
And like that makes sense.
and that's hard.
Well,
like I
but
feel
also,
like
but also 750 rooms. What are they hiding in Buckingham Palace?
I have no idea. It could be.
we'll tell you when we get
anything.
off the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All
If
right.
you're just tuning in, we're 3 questions in. We've got 2 more. Let's see if we can stump George Salazar. What's our next question, Dills?
Okay, question number 4. Question number 4 is, what is the world record for the time spent in a shower? Is it A, 24 hours, B, 124 hours, C, 341 hours, or D, 41 hours?
2 days would be 48 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
4
And
days
it's
would
time
be
spent
80.
in a shower. I'm unclear if this question means that the shower is on, because if so, that's a lot of waste of water.
That's
Yeah.
that's I'm gonna say, what was B?
D's 124 hours.
B. What was B?
That B is 124.
That
B
was
is 124.
Oh,
yeah, B
okay.
was 124. C is 341. D is 41.
I'm gonna say B.
124.
No, 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 no.
Do you have a second guess?
C.
That's 340. Who sets out? Who sets
41
out to
hours.
set that record? Who's like, I'm gonna stay in my shower for 300 hours plus?
Someone in lockdown during a pandemic.
Actually, you know what? Change of plans. I'm gonna go get in my shower right now. How long do I have to stay there to be a record holder?
Like, can you imagine being stuck in a house with crazy relatives, or like if I was stuck in a house with racist relatives, I would break that record. I would just be like, I'm in here.
Which
leave me
again is
alone.
an example of making your time in the bathroom count.
Right.
Yes.
Be like, if I'm gonna be in
Yeah.
here, I'm gonna break a record. All right. Last and final question.
Last and
Let's
final
see.
question. What % of people's guests snoop through the cabinets in other people's homes?
Before
Is it
you answer,
A-
oh, go ahead.
Oh, is it A, 25%, B, 45%, C, 90%, or D, 70%?
And before you answer, I want everyone on the stream to. I will go first. I 100% snoop the cabinets. I'm just owning up to it.
It depends on where I am, but more
Yes.
than likely I will.
Okay, so
It depends on where I am. It depends on whose place it is, which is why I would say that I personally would snoop. What's the number below 70?
45.
45?
seems low.
Yeah. It's 25, 45, 90, or 70.
45 seems low, but 90.
And
I don't
you also
know.
have to think that this is how I always think about these questions, is that it's like, this is the percent, but like, it's more. Like, people are just like lying to you. you
Right. I'm going to say 70%.
You are correct.
know? You are correct.
So disturbing, which is why which is why I don't keep anything scandalous in my bathroom.
There was a meme that was going around for a while that was like the inside of someone's cabinet, and they made it into like a little mini liquor, like a mini fridge bar with all mini liquor bottles. And they were shocked to see that like all of them were still there at the end of the party.
Well, here's the thing. There's a difference between snooping and stealing the liquor. Like, I might open it and be like, oh, this is full of booze. How wacky. But, like, I don't think I'm taking the bottles.
Oh, I 100% would.
And that's why the two of you are such great hosts together.
Well, let me do a little bit of calculations here. That's right. The points don't matter.
Don't matter.
George Salazar, you're a winner. Thanks for playing Bathroom Trivia. You win, and it has been so fun having you on the show. Thank you for joining us. It's so nice to see you.
It's so good to see you guys.
Yeah.
I miss you both. Thank you for having me on. This was such a truly like a highlight for the day. So thank you.
Well, I'm so glad.
Good,
we love you so much.
Stay safe out there.
You guys too. Love
Bye.
you guys.
Mwah.
Bye.
If you're just tuning in, you just missed special guest George Salazar, who knew a lot, but not a ton, but a lot about time spent in the bathroom by himself. Nailed it. Do. Yeah, no, that's the whole
That's it.
thing.
That's the last one.
That is the last one. You guys don't go anywhere because we have not one, but two more special guests coming your way. As many of you know, we love a double trouble segment here on the Quarantini, and today we have one heck of a duo. He starred on Broadway in both Hair and Waitress. He also appeared in countless times off-Broadway and beyond, and toured the country with Hair, once American Idiot, and again with Waitress. Lately, he's been bouncing around your television set, where you can spot him on shows like Chicago PD, Daredevil, Madam Secretary, and more. She toured the country in Rent before returning to New York to make her Broadway debut, flying so high, defying gravity, as Elphaba in Wicked. She's also toured the country in Finding Neverland, and of course as Jenna in Waitress with him. She's got a voice that just won't quit. I'm going back a line. She's got a voice that just won't quit. Together, they are two of the coolest people around, and if you didn't already know that, you're about to find out why. Let's take a look at today's guests, Matt DeAngelis and Christine Dwyer. work. Hi guys.
Hi.
You went into the chest for some more.
How are you guys doing?
I feel like I was like 27 for that one.
Not even
Broadway
kidding.
sessions. I was so young.
I mean, not even kidding. I started editing this down with like a 17-minute intro. Like, there's just too much good stuff out there. As it is, we landed on like 2.5 minutes, but I think it was worth it. But I really had to do some cutting. How are you guys? Where are you coming to us from?
We're actually at our lake house in Maine. We were here for May and June, and then we went back because we had to move in the midst of all this.
Oh my gosh.
Then we were in the city for a second, and we have another little break in our schedule, so we're up here at the lake for the next like 30 to 45 days-ish.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That's so nice.
It must be so nice to get away from the city. Both Dylan and I have been here, and it's been very weird. But it's been interesting. It's been nice. How have you been? I know you just told us you've been traveling a little bit. How's it been? How are you guys feeling? How are you doing?
We're good.
Yeah, I mean,
the world is on fire,
yeah.
but
I mean,
both literally and figuratively.
pretty much the same.
Yeah.
George. Like for the first few weeks, it was kind of like, oh, this is gonna be just like a blip on my radar in a couple of weeks, and then once we really realized that that this was gonna be our long time, that's when I definitely started to get super depressed, and just sad about the industry, sad about not being able to be around my friends, sad about not being able to be around family.
That meme, it's like check on your extrovert friends; they're not doing okay.
Yeah.
And like,
I'm usually pretty introverted, but this even has me like, I want to get out and see people. I want to bump into people on the street. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Ready for this.
Yeah, I think people don't realize what a little town, but what a small community New York ends up actually being. I used to spot you guys on 9th Avenue like 3 times a week. And I miss it. I miss bumping into people, and it just,
I miss going out for dinner. I miss going out for dinner at 6, and all of a sudden it's 2 in the morning because you went and met friends at a bar and you didn't plan. We're going to this place, so I want to see this show. And it's sad. It's hard to not have that in your life.
Yeah, and to have the the spontaneous nights like out on the town as you're just like making your way through Hell's Kitchen, and then you end up at a bar.
I know there's so much planning now, and I'm not very good at that. But you have to plan where you're going to go and how you're going to be safe.
Do I hug my friends? Do I not hug my friends? It's right. There's so much.
I did go to a restaurant for the first time a couple weeks ago, and it was actually it was really cool to see, even though it's scary to be outside and do that stuff. It was really fun to sit at a table with other New Yorkers and kind of have this collective.
Yeah, we went out with 8 of our friends in Astoria and sat at a big long table outside. We were just so excited. Nobody has any jobs or any money. Our bill was like $600. We were like, we're living around. Yeah, sure.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of another round, we have a lot to catch up on, and we're so excited to see your faces. So this is a nice break for us as well. But before we go any further, she's empty. So would you do us the honor of letting us know what today's drink of choice is going to be?
Yes. So today's drink of choice is a New York sour, as we were just talking about loving on New York and all of that. So it's simple syrup, lemon juice, bourbon, or whiskey. We have bourbon. And you put that in a shaker or stir it around with some ice. And then you pour over the top a little float of Merlot. So it ends up looking really cool if you do it right, which we might not.
Our fierce. All right. Well, I'm gonna give it the old college try. I think I've got everything here. I hope this will be enough bourbon. It's been a long week. But let us know where to start.
Okay, so fill your shaker with some ice.
Okay.
And because we're doing a double on our end, get our jigger here. You're gonna go with the full side. You're gonna go 2 full ones of bourbon.
Okay.
All right.
And then a little extra just because.
Yep, of course. Just a little extra love.
Just because it's a pandemic.
Because everything's a house floor now.
Let me tell you something. I think I single-handedly alone am keeping Four Roses Bourbon in business during quarantine. Me and Benny Ellich are keeping. So on the small side of your digger, if you make two, but for us making one, you would do a half of the smaller side. But for us, we'll do a full of simple syrup.
All right.
Then another. Oh, we can take the cap off. This is brand new. We got some lemon juice here.
Lemon juice.
And I have some lemon and some whiskey soaked cherries as a garnish.
Amazing.
Ooh. Whiskey
We're
soaked cherries.
getting very fancy in unemployment. We're spending a lot of money on stuff that we shouldn't be buying.
I forget who I was talking to the other day, but they were like, man, being a bartender is going to be the worst job when we come out of this because everyone's at home learning how to be an amazing bartender and they're going to go back to like pubs and be like, that's not how we make it at home.
So I did two of the small of juice as well.
Awesome.
And now we're going to stir that up just a little bit.
All right.
And then we're going to use our new toy that we're very excited about during quarantine. We bought ourselves a smoking gun.
Oh my goodness.
I am so jealous about this.
Hold on. We're gonna full screen this for a second so we can see what's going on here.
So, let's do this.
You guys are the coolest people in the entire world.
Cool or financially reckless? I guess the choice is you.
I think it's a little bit of both. Oh my gosh. This is like
I'm back.
I know. I will also say, just speaking of Wicked, we try not to use too many bootlegs here on the show, just because they're bad and illegal. But if you're watching and you have not seen Christine in Wicked, it's maybe worth a Google. Maybe go type that into YouTube.
Listen, she's fine. Okay, she's fine.
Yeah, there's plenty of bootlegs out there.
I'm
not really one of those performers who like if there's bootlegs out. I mean, like I do if they're bad, like if I sound bad.
Well, and I also
like
as a rule, I had a huge experience back when I was doing hair that somebody in our company, there was a bootleg photo taken of the naked scene, and it was shared on the message boards, and the person then got really self-conscious because people made mean comments or whatever, and didn't do the naked scene anymore. Yeah. And so, like, on a fundamental level, don't make bootlegs. Like,
right.
However, if you're gonna do it, and like we all live in the real world where it's gonna happen, just don't be a dick about it, and don't disturb the people next to you, and don't say mean things on the internet.
Yeah,
right.
And I think I would go one step further and say, don't capture anybody without their clothes on. That just feels
right.
Well, that feels not great.
I'm pretty sure that's like literally a crime.
That's like
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
well,
so this is now fermented is the wrong word, but it has.
We've also
Oh my
started.
god!
Oh my gosh!
It is spooky season. It's time
It
for
is.
smoked cocktails and
It's
Christine's
almost
favorite
spooky
month
season.
Christine's favorite month is
Halloween
time.
year long. I love
Halloween. Halloween is my favorite holiday. I don't know. Are you guys making a plan for this year? Are you going to get dressed up at home? Are you going to try to celebrate a little bit?
Yeah, we got dressed up at home last year. I don't know why we didn't go out.
We had something going on.
Yeah.
Were you on tour?
No. We went to Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, we went to Harry Potter in costume, and we were a top 5 finalists for the costume contest.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm definitely gonna do something. I can't not dress up. It makes me sad.
Hold these. Well, okay, so this is what it should look like right now.
Okay.
I'm holding it right now.
I'm looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Then you take your
I'm nervous about
spoon,
this float.
Uh-huh.
and you're
So
gonna
this
do
is
your
the hard part.
float right over the top of your spoon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very nervous about this part.
I'm very nervous, but
I'm
it seems to be
gonna-
working.
Oh, that looks
There's
great.
wine all over Christine's pants.
Oh no!
Oh no.
So it should look like a little like floater, right?
Oops.
So you hold this.
Okay, I'll hold it, and then you don't pour it on your own.
Get back at him, Christine. Pour it all over him.
Yeah, get it on him.
Take your time.
You guys made me mess up.
I didn't nail this.
There you go. You crushed yours.
Yeah, I know.
But they both look nice.
Yeah.
Work. I did medium. I did medium.
That was great.
And I'm hiding mine in a glass that you can't see.
His is purple because of the blue.
Yes.
Well, cheers, you guys. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
We're so excited.
Ooh.
Oh, that's yummy.
Yeah,
It's
I
great.
might have done a little too much
It's like-
lemon, but
It's like a whiskey sour
Yeah.
with a
I
little
was
something
telling you
more.
before we came on the air, so the actual technical way you're supposed to make that is to also shake it with egg whites to make
Okay.
it frothy. There's my favorite restaurant in the whole wide world. I've been to 44 states and 13 countries, and my favorite restaurant in the whole world is Founding Farmers in Washington, D.C. And they
Okay.
have their own custom in-house New York sour. It doesn't have egg whites. It just happened to be the first time I ever tried it, and so I fell in love with the drink there, and now I make it like this.
Awesome. Well,
That's awesome.
I had never even heard of one of these, and it's quite good.
we had something like this at 54 Below once upon a time, and we called it a tri-borough sour because there was 3 layers. So the top was the port wine. I don't know what the middle one was, and then it was whiskey on the bottom. Very delicious.
I dig that.
Yeah, work. Amazing. Well, speaking of traveling and all of your 44 states and counting, you guys spent a bunch of time touring together with Waitress, which is so cool. How was that? What was it like to be on the road together? What was it like to get to step into such a hit musical with such kind of a following behind it?
Christine is impossible.
Yeah. Everybody says that about me. It was great. You know, we started dating, and pretty much like right after that, I went on tour with Finding Neverland. So we were apart for like a huge chunk of the beginning of our relationship. And he had all of these plans to come visit me, and then he booked Waitress on Broadway. So we like never saw each other for
There's
15 months.
Yeah, there was one time when I literally flew to LA to see her, and I think I was on the ground for like 18 hours. We went to Disneyland.
Just
We
so
went
could,
out
like,
with our
see each
friend.
other.
We went out with our friend Alex to a bar called Mr. Nice Guy in LA, and I overslept, and I had 35 minutes to make it from the Hollywood Hills to LAX. And I literally ran through the gate, cut everybody in line, ran through, and like ran onto the plane as they were closing the door to make it back for the Tuesday show.
And did
Yeah.
you make
Oh
it
my
in time
gosh.
for your call?
I did. I made it.
Yeah.
Nailed
so,
it.
So being apart for as long as we were, it was such a gift to then be able to do a tour together. And we genuinely like touring. I like going back to my favorite places all over the country. I like the fact that I know.
Well, we were saying what? Between the two of us, it's like almost 6,000 performances on the road in our career.
Yeah, and I like meeting
Wow.
people from different places, and so
I love having a bar. Oh, my friend's going to Des Moines. Oh, you got to go over on 5th Street and see, whatever. Like, I love that, like, I have such an intimate working knowledge of, like, every A, B, and some C markets in America. Like, it's really great.
yeah.
Right.
But it was awesome, and I mean I love doing Waitress. I loved playing that part. It's my favorite part I've ever played, and my favorite show that I've ever done.
Yeah, and I think
so and seeing the way that I love stage door experiences, and I hope that eventually after all of this we can have those again. I love going to the stage door. I try to do it after every single performance. I like talking to the audience afterwards, but the craziest thing about this is like how open people were talking about their own experiences with domestic violence and things like that. That people were so moved and moved to tell me like what the show meant, and what the show meant to them. And there were people that would send me letters saying like, after seeing the show, I got out of my abusive relationship.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
And a lot of the questions that we got asked when we booked, was it hard? Was it hard to play Earl and Jenna with your wife? Did that make your relationship? Like, first of all, we are definitely both. Big Chad is in the frame.
Aw.
Hey, buddy.
Hi. Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that puppy.
We are both two actors who, every style, and this is not shady. Like, everybody has a different style. Some people are method, some people do whatever. we're both leaving the wings kind of actors. Like, I'm usually, even if I'm doing a really tough scene, the big fight scene, I would be pretty focused before I went on. But I'm messing around in the wings. I make my entrance, and then I'm playing the character, and it's like, whatever. This is not my style to be like, But it was such a challenge to play Earl well, right?
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to just play him, oh, he's the bad guy. He's got to be charming, or else the audience starts to judge Jenna for being with him for too long. He's got to land punchlines and some jokks.
Even like after She Used to Be Mine, he has to land punchlines.
Yeah, like you got to get, you have a, there's not that, Waitress is such a heavy show in general. But like, so Dawn and Earl and Ogie feel a big responsibility to get those laugh lines because it supports you and it supports the show, right? So it was such a challenge to play it well, but I'll tell you, and this is not like, Christine is my favorite actor that I've ever worked with. And most people who work with Christine say the same thing. But I have never felt like a better actor in my whole career as when I did those scenes with Christine. Now, I've been unbelievably lucky, too. I've played, you've had, 9 Beckys, and I've had 7 Jennas, I think? Something like that. And I did it with Jesse Mueller. I did it with Sarah Bareilles. I did it with Betsy Wolfe. I did it with Pat McPhee. I did it with Nicolette. I did it with Stephanie Torrance and Molly Jobe. They're all amazing. But I think the thing that we got to do that was so cool was that we're a real couple. Right. So those scenes didn't feel like 2 actors who rehearsed together. I can grab her and hold her. Not that I don't keep it consistent, because that's the whole thing. I think that we were able to do things.
We were able to be a little bit more physical.
Honestly, I bet you Joe and Sarah felt a similar way.
Right.
Because Joe Tippett and Sarah were dating when Joe played Earl opposite Sarah. And so I think that it's such a unique opportunity for a couple to play scenes like that. Yeah,
sure.
Is it like our real relationship? No. But the fact that we are comfortable with each other and trust each other. Well, we also we teach together. We run a coaching business now. We trust each other as actors so deeply that those scenes, I feel like, played very truthfully because we have that core relationship behind them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Everything he said. I was going to jump into this idea of like, a lot of actors say it's really hard to play dumb and it's really hard to play mean because dumb people are not dumb and mean people aren't trying to be mean. They're trying to live their truth. And so, wow, very, very cool. Well, you guys, we did come up with a game for you today. It is based on your shared credit of Waitress the Musical. Today's game of the day is based on Waitress. You toured the country together in the show, and your game is inspired by that. The answers to all of today's questions will include the word pie, as in we toured the country starring in the musical Waitress and danced with a lot of pie. So, for example, and so here's the way it'll work. Pie will be in the word that is the answer. Every answer is one word, and P-I-E will appear in the word.
Oh, boy.
You're going to nail it.
New York, he does New York crossword every day, so he might be good at this. I won't.
You're going to be great at this because also, as always, since I built your game, Dylan does not know the answer. So Dylan is on your team, as is everybody in the comments. So you've got a lot of support behind you.
You got a lot of support.
The comments are about 15 seconds behind us. So if you need anything, just keep one eye on there. But I have full faith in you. For example, if I said, I am wearing one right now, and it is how I can hear you, you would answer earpiece because EARPIE.
P-I-E. Got it.
C-E. Ear, pie, s. Great. You guys are nailing it. Matt already got the example. I have full faith in you. If you get it right, as always, you will hear Alex Newell riffing. And if you get it wrong, you will either hear Gavin Creel or Effie White telling you that you got it wrong.
I will say Alex Newell from Lynn, Massachusetts, went to the same high school that my grandmother used to be a secretary at when she was still working.
And my mom saw Alex when, I don't know when this was, but Alex was in Titanic. Like, where was that? Somewhere in Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe like 17 years old, my mom.
On our first trip home together, when we first started dating, we went to see Adam Lambert at Hard Rock, no, House of Blues, Boston. And
On
my
his own
friend,
or with Queen?
on his own. And
Gotcha.
my friend Brandon Pearson, who was best friends with Adam, got us backstage. But Alex Newell opened and we hung with them all. Alex Newell was Massachusetts through and through.
Oh,
As our-
fierce.
Oh my gosh.
That is so cool. It's a very Alex Newell episode because Alex also, these riffs were sung in Once on This Island at Circle in the Square, where George debuted in Oh Bless the Lord, Godspell. So we're all one degree from Alex Newell today. Here we go. There are 8 questions total. Again, I have full faith in you, and you have the support of Dylan and the audience. You have my support too, but I won't give you the answer because I know them. Here we go. Number 1, a percussion instrument with a series of metal bars tuned to a chromatic scale, played with 2 light hammers.
Glockenspiel.
Work. That would be a glockenspiel. Glockenspiel. With pie right at the end. Matt, I didn't know you were going to be quite so good at this, but I'm very excited. Here we go. We're 1 for 1. Okay, question 2. At a wedding or other fancy party, this could be placed on every table as a sort of decoration, but really, it's just annoying because it blocks the field of view so you can't see who's sitting across from you.
Sorry, centerpiece.
That would be a center pie eats.
There's not a timer on it. You can wait till he finishes the question.
That's like the first
No, she nailed it.
that he's told me to stop talking over people.
No, you nailed it.
That
Some
usually
of-
goes over there.
Some of the clues get like, you can tell that I started writing the clue and I was like, that'll be enough. And then I was like, no, I should give them a little more. No, I should give them a little more. So you nailed it without any of the help. Centerpiece, we're 2 for 2. I'm very proud of everybody so far. Here comes your third question. If you're just tuning in, this is Matt and Christine. They starred in Waitress, and our questions all have answers with the word pie in the answer. So that last answer was centerpiece, spelled center, pie. It's going well. Number 3. On an airplane bathroom, the red bar would signal that the room is...
Occupied.
Occupied. That one's easy because pie is actually pronounced pie.
Wait, can we talk about, so one of our best friends is in the comments right now. She says, I don't like playing trivia with Matt. He's too good at it.
Well, listen, now I know.
This is not trivia. These are just words.
Although next time you're on the show, I am going to make this very hard. Now that I know you're a trivia person. All right, here we go. If you're just tuning in, we're 3 for 3. Here comes question 4. I am halfway done with my whiskey, and I have not had dinner yet, so this one is on my mind.
Same.
These small, savory, deep-fried balls are delicious. They're usually made of cornmeal-based batter and served as a side dish.
Hush puppies.
That's correct. Hush puppies. Hush puppies. Nailed it. You're 4 for 4. I
was really thinking in my mind risotto because I missed them.
Oh my God. Dude, if Glass House Tavern did outdoor dining, I'd be there every night. I miss it so much.
Oh my God. First of all, I'm seeing a lot of people.
I miss it too.
Where to come? Wait, I just saw some people getting Hush Puppies in the comments. Way to go, guys. But yes, agreed. I miss Hush Puppies. I miss the risotto balls at the Laurie Beachman Theater, home of Broadway Sessions.
Yes, they're very good.
Also, the next time you guys are in...
They have something else there that I like. Oh, they have a great mac and cheese at the Laurie Beachman.
First place I ever.
Also,
Same.
next time you guys are back in New York City and the world is in order, we have to go to Glass House Tavern because they have a risotto dip that you order with the chips and salsa, but then eat the risotto dip as... oop, there goes Dylan.
Bye, Dylan.
He'll be back. He always is. It's just one of those episodes, you guys. Here we go. We're moving on to question 6, and I'm beginning to wonder if I will ever stump you. Oh, we're moving on to 5, and I'm beginning to wonder if I'll stump you because you're 4 for 4. He's back just in time.
I heard we were talking about the risotto at Glass House, and my computer just was like, "We need to go right now." So I got so excited because it's my favorite thing on the menu.
It's really
So
good. All right, we are moving on to question number 5. I have yet to stump you guys, but let's see. This is an instrument such as a watch or a clock.
Timepiece?
No idea what a timepiece is.
A timepiece, still?
That
Like
sounds side piece.
That's what I should have made it. Well, regardless, you're 5 for 5. There are 3 questions left. Let me look at these. I might stump you. We'll see. We'll see. Here comes your next question. This is question number 6. Famous examples of these in New York City include 17, 35, 54, and Chelsea. There's more that I originally wrote, but I'm going to stop there to see if I can only give you the hard.
Say the first part one more time.
Famous examples of these in New York City include 17, 35, 54, and Chelsea.
Piers.
I thought I had him. Yeah, that would be Piers. Chelsea, of course, also a drag queen from New York City. Chelsea Piers. Shout out to Chelsea Piers. Oh, man. Matt, you are very good at this. And there's only one left, and now I feel like... Oh, also, way to go in the comments. Tracy, Sydney,
Piers.
Matthew.
Wow.
Way to go, you guys.
Oh, hey, Quinn.
Hello, hello. Moving on. This is your last one. Oh, no, wait, we have 2 more. I lied. All right.
Yes,
there's
2
hope
more.
there's hope for me yet. Here we go. Here comes question number 7. A semicircular dumpling with various fillings such as meat, vegetables, usually sautéed or boiled.
No. Dumplings? No.
You said dumplings.
All right.
There's pierogies, there's pots.
You said it, which
Oh, cool. All right.
it was pierogies, which famously starts with the word pie.
I was trying to figure. I don't even know. I was trying to figure that one out.
Yeah, no, you did.
That's hilarious.
You were trying so hard, you didn't even know you had already succeeded. Here comes your last one. If you're just tuning in, welcome. This is Matt and Christine. They starred in Waitress on the road. Currently, they star on their couch in quarantine, like the rest of us, while drinking whiskey. So it's going well.
Yes.
This is your last question. This is your last question, as all of them. This one will contain the word pie in the answer. If only I could spell, says Tracy Clifford. Nailed it. Here we go. Forward helix, rook, helix, industrial, and orbital.
Piercings.
Yes! All types of piercings.
I used to have an industrial piercing, and then I had to get it taken out.
I don't think I would have got it. You nailed that.
Let me do a little bit of calculating over here. It looks like that would be a perfect game for Christian Dwyer and Matt DeAngelis. Way to go, you guys. Well played. I never doubted you for a second, but I did wonder if this was going to be a good game or not. But you guys were very good at that. Way to go.
Yes, congratulations.
That really, I only answered 2. You did all of the rest.
Well, there were only 8. You answered 2, but knew some. And then Matt only intentionally answered like 5.
That's true.
The rest he didn't even know he was answering the rest.
And they say even the sun shines on a dog's ass some of the time.
You guys, we have 2 questions that we ask everybody, everyone that has come and bartended for us on the show. And so we're going to ask those to you before we can let you go anywhere. They are the hard-hitting questions of the day. Question 1 is, we know the world is super weird right now, but what is something that has brought you some joy during this time? Something that's brought you joy or kept you going or kept you smiling?
We celebrated our first year of marriage during the pandemic. We luckily got to be one of the couples that, had the big wedding and stuff like that last August. And we spent the whole day like making our own pasta and making our own desserts, and like we did like a 3-course meal basically. We made cocktails, and we kind of like brought a restaurant to our apartment in New York. And I would say like that definitely brought me a lot of joy. It's like a specific event.
I would say
Teaching.
Teaching has been amazing, and sort of it's been we kind of had to make a pivot because usually we teach like professional actors who are in the same age bracket as all of us in New York, but we've had to shift because those people don't have jobs, opportunities to get jobs or money. So we've had to shift to high school age kids whose parents have money and want their kids' skills to stay sharp. And it's been such an amazing. We didn't expect it. Not that we don't. We love kids, but that was never our career path for teaching.
Well,
but it's been so rewarding to like, because when you're teaching kids, you end up being a teacher and a therapist, kind of in like a good way. You can help. You can tell those kids the things that you wish that people had told you when you're that age, and that's been really nice. And honestly, we've been so fortunate that we love our apartment in New York, and it's amazing. But the fact that we've been able to get up to my childhood lake house when we're done with this trip now, which we're coming to you from, we'll be up here for 3.5 months, and we have a boat.
So
and I mean, it's been so. He loves it. We play fetch with him all day, and
also, I mean, in this town that we're in, there was one
case of COVID, and they isolated it. So we still wear masks and stuff, but it's safe. It doesn't feel
they've like really been taking it super seriously up here, which was also pretty cool to see. Like
in a state with questionable politics, it's right.
You said it.
See them taking it so seriously. So that's been a real gift, especially. I mean, Christine and I have only been together for 5 years, but married for 1, and I've been coming up to this house for 30 years, and it just feels so nice to be able to spend this kind of time up here. It's been
great.
I
hadn't been able to spend much time here at all because the last time I was up here, I ended up like booking an indie film and had to leave like 3 days in.
And like 2 in the morning, the taxi came down and picked her up to go to the airport.
Yeah, so it's been nice to be here and able to quarantine and then actually like see our family. I was super stressed about coming from New York and bringing anything to any of our parents because they're all in their 70s now and stuff, and things are scary. So the fact that I've got to spend so much time with Matt's family and got to know them even better, and vice versa, has
it's been really awesome.
Such a gift.
Yeah,
that's amazing though. That's great.
Are you guys? I know you're both rock vocalists. You're both soaring, belting vocalists. Are you guys? Has this been like an opportunity to kind of chill a little bit? Like, are either of you kind of the mindset of like, oh, when I'm on the job, I have to be like super focused and like in my mind no. Great. Listen, I put in your intro that you were the coolest people I know, so it's fine. But
look,
we're not normally people that like.
We're not church mice when we do shows, but at the end of the day, we do both as reckless as we can be at times with our talent or whatever. We both take it very seriously, and when we have a job, your number one priority is doing the job and doing the job well. Your job is not to be a social captain. Your job is not to be whatever. Your job is to do the job.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. During quarantine, though, we've actually been finding a lot of performance opportunities, and things have kind of opened up for us. And
I've actually started taking voice lessons again, which is something that when I'm actually auditioning and when I'm in a show, I don't do that because I'm singing so much on my time.
And also to go back to your point about 54 Below and all this stuff, like when we're in our regular life and things are normal, we don't have to think about have I performed recently.
Right.
Because we're asking ourselves all the time, and we go and we do cabarets and concerts and new works and readings and auditions. So we're singing all the time, and now we have to sort of manifest those opportunities. And we actually have done quite a few. We're doing our first in-person concert at her voice teacher has this big house with a huge yard, and Massachusetts has a rule that you can only have 50 people in an outdoor gathering. So we have 50 seats, socially distanced around her yard, and we're doing a 13-song concert. It'll be the first time we performed in front of people since we left.
Well, for me, it's been since Waitress.
In a year, and for me, it's since Secret of Bees Closed, which was last August. No, last November. We got married.
No, it wasn't Secret Life of Bees. It was
Once in Bucks County. Yeah. So November last year. So
oh my gosh,
our first time performing
That's
in
going to
front
be
of
so great.
people. Oh, we're
that is so cool. Are
I'm,
they?
like,
Do you know?
so nervous about it.
Yeah.
You're both gonna crush it. I'm super sure of it. Do you know if there's any plan? Is there any plan to share it like live?
Yeah, we're
or
gonna
anything?
stream it. We're gonna be streaming it. Yeah.
We're gonna live
Okay.
stream
Okay.
it.
You'll have to.
Yeah.
That is so
Well,
cool. If you
yeah.
don't follow Christine or Matt, their handles are scrolling across the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
I will be keeping an eye out for
Very
that. That is so cool.
And it's cool because, like, again, you know,
I've had the same voice teacher since I was like 11 years old. So she's like,
and
a
we
member of the family
teach
now.
and we are acting coaches in her vocal studio back in Massachusetts. We're like a part
That's
of her
amazing.
team. And also,
Yeah.
I mean, aside from singing, I haven't played 12. I think she's accompanying us a couple of songs. I think I'm playing 10 songs on the guitar. I haven't played 10 songs on the guitar in front of people in forever. So
How are your calluses? Are they still there?
I'll tell
There
you,
you
we
go.
played through 3 songs. We played through 3 songs yesterday, and they're not doing great. So I got some work to do.
Gotta keep strumming away. Gotta keep strumming away.
And also, like,
Um,
my voice is tired after singing. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
singing a couple of things right in a row together. I woke up this morning and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this
Yeah.
feeling. It's like, great.
well,
Yeah.
it'll be back. You guys gig like crazy, and so I imagine it must be weird to go into a period of like relaxing and not singing non-stop.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be back. I am very much looking forward to that concert. My other question for you guys is not that we want to rush kind of the healing that the world is going through, or try to reopen sooner than is safe, but when the world comes back to a sense of normalcy, what are you looking forward to? What is kind of that thing that you can't wait to either get back to?
I want to throw
A party.
I want to throw a party in the apartment.
Yeah, we
None of
had
our
to
friends
play-
have been there.
And the last party we threw, and you know, we'll have to add you to the guest list. We have epic party. We had 25 people every week for Game of Thrones. We have a fireplace in our apartment. We lit a fire and ran the air conditioner, even though it was the summer. And for the Super Bowl party, I get it catered and I charge everybody $20 and I provide everything. And this year, we didn't know it was going to be the last party we threw in our apartment, but there was almost 80 people at our Super Bowl party this year.
That
So
is wild.
we
Oh
are-
my gosh.
We are very excited to throw a party again. But the macro is we never got to take our honeymoon.
Yeah.
We're really excited.
Oh.
We were planning on going to Thailand, Australia, and Japan for 3 weeks. And I'm really excited to get to Thailand finally.
Yeah, I'm
And
so
I've
excited.
been,
to travel
I've been
again.
wanting to go to Thailand for my entire life. And
We've both been to Japan, but never,
Never
with each
together
other,
and never
so
not for
we're-
work.
Yeah, never not for
Gotcha.
work. So to go back there. And you've never been to Australia, right?
I've never been to
Yeah, and
Australia.
I haven't been to Australia either. And we want to dive the
Great Barrier Reef.
the reef
Yeah, yeah.
before.
'Cause I'm a certified diver, and Christine has secretly, illegally scuba dived in Mexico with certification.
That's what you just do in Mexico.
Who cares?
It happens.
I literally like took a lesson in a
In the pool, and then they were like, "Here's the ocean, jump in,
Yeah.
breathe underwater."
Yeah, and like
Oh.
I took like a 15-minute lesson.
Whereas my stupid ass paid like $2,000 to get the certification, not knowing they just jump in.
Oh my god. Well,
Oh my gosh.
something to look forward to. You guys, we love you so much. Thank you for
Yes.
joining us today.
Thank you so
I know
much.
the world is really wild right now, and so it means a lot that you spent some time with us today and introduced us to this delicious drink and got to catch up with us a little bit.
Thank you. You know what? The world needs moments of levity. It's what George was talking about too. It's like there's so much horrible stuff happening, and we have to pay attention to so many things. And it's good that we are all paying attention to the things we're supposed to pay attention to. But it's nice to laugh for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And
For sure.
it's I find it re-energizing. So thank you for being a part of that today. And we'll see you guys when you get back to New York City. I can't
Yes.
wait.
I
and-
can't wait.
Yeah.
We're all gonna get very drunk. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be great. I'll be
I'll be
making these.
there.
I'll be pouring red wine all over the floor. It's gonna be a hit. You guys, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you
Yes,
soon.
Thank you. Enjoy the
Thanks,
wave.
guys. Have a good one.
If you're just tuning in,
You're late.
you're late. You missed our very special guest bartenders, Christine Dwyer and Matt DeAngelis, and they made a bourbon cocktail with us, and it was a great time. You guys, make sure, if you had fun today, hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. There are 3 shows that happen on here. MT Trivia is coming up this Monday at 9 o'clock with Chris and Kevin Metzger-Timpson. Their guests this week are Joe Carroll and Dan Tracy, 2 guys who like theater.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. I watch it every week. I sit backstage every week, but I laugh my ass off. I have a great time.
No,
on Tuesday, I am back with my pal Jackie Cox from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 12. And our guest this Tuesday is the Liz Calloway. The original
one and
voice
the
of
only Liz
Anastasia,
Calloway.
The one and the only. And then, of course, Dylan and I, we're back next Thursday, September 10th. Dylan, do you want to tell them who are... Nope.
September 17th.
September 17th.
Today is
Today's
September
the 10th.
10th.
Nailed it. Do you want to tell them
And-
who our guest is?
Yes, today, sorry, not today. Next Thursday, we are going, these cocktails are delicious. Next Thursday, the 17th, right here, 5:30, it'll be Michael and me and the one, the only, Derek Klena.
That's right. Just 3 incredibly handsome and talented men.
It's going to be
coming
wonderful.
to you live.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Until then, you guys, wash your hands, wear a mask. We love you all, and we will see you next Thursday. Cheers.
Stay safe, everyone.